Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. Welcome back to the kind of ramshackle setup. Today we're actually going to be doing a reshoot of my review on Reissue Beast Wars Scorponok, who is already trying to fire off his one of his big gimmicks. Yeah, I had done this video like a month and a half ago. Really eventful weekend, shall we say, and I ended up deleting it off of my phone before I had copied it off to the computer for the little bits of editing and stuff that I do. So, oops, but we're back with him now. I am still at ridiculous arm's length for the camera, unfortunately, so if you see me handling him a little awkwardly, there's a reason. My arms literally cannot go further than this point. So, but yeah, as you can see, here we have the original Scorponok in his Scorpion mode. Yeah, off the bat, and probably the single biggest flaw with this guy, this is a lobster. This is a lobster with a messed up tail, but he still is a lot of fun. I do really like this mode. Legs are basically useless here, just kind of for show, but the claws are quite posable. You've got a rotation right there, in and out there, kind of an elbow joint there. I say kind of an elbow joint. It is his elbow joint. These are also his arms in robot mode. Rotation right here for the claws, so if you want them a little bit more vertical like that, you can. I prefer to keep them a little sideways. Funny enough, for the transformation into his robot mode, he ends up having sort of these posable mandibles down here on his head, which is actually really cool, I think. You also can move the upper part of his head up, so it's not intentional, I'm sure, but it still looks really, really neat, and it's, a bit more posability and playability, always good. And the big rattly tail back here. Yes, there's no getting around the tail rattle. It's got a little lever down here, push that forward, and he will strike forward. It's a little awkward to do in this mode, I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit more of a robot mode feature, which is weird since, it's a Scorpion. It's supposed to sting in, Scorpion mode. Pretty good reach to it, actually, all things considered. It does actually lash out pretty well. It does partially just use gravity for its reset, so it will just go forward on its own by, moving it forward like that. So you do have to keep it upright to actually, keep it engaged. And, yeah, as for gimmicks, obviously we have the one that already was shooting itself off earlier. Just go ahead, pull this little lever here, and, yeah, his left claw just turns into a Cyber Bee, I guess it's called. I love this. This is absolutely stupid, and I love it. I love it so much. Fold the bee up, get him back in there, go ahead, just pull the head up, it'll go into this little indent there. Close up the top half of the claws, or top half of the claw, which is the wings, and these two little notches will hold the head section in. Go ahead and fold up the bee butt, and then there is a peg sticking out there that will go right back here. I'm having to actually zoom my camera for once, and you'd be shocked how much that is throwing me off in my interaction with things. But either way, that's your gimmick for this one. For the other claw, go ahead and just push down, and you can already see there's two missiles in there. Fires them off. It does have two, points, so you can very easily just fire one and, save the other for later or whatever. Very, very generic looking red missiles. Go ahead and get these back in. And the bottom claw on this is also posable, since it's the only claw that's not trying to explode into its own gimmick. And just because I'm just going to leave this claw off for the rest of the video, because this thing will fly off spontaneously yet again if I don't. So, transforming this guy, really, really straightforward, but satisfying enough. Go ahead, just turn the tail around right now. Flip him over. Bring the halves of the head down. And as you can see, they peg in right there onto the, I guess technically shins now. Go ahead and open them up. That is definitely a really cool thing about this, guys. The fact that the alt mode, the bug mode, the head is the feet of the robot mode. That's different. I like that. I really like that. It's interesting. So, anyway, go ahead, fold the actual robot mode head up like this. Get this tab pointing forward. Go ahead and collapse all of this up. And eventually that tab will peg into that center hole there in the chest. If you can, see what you're doing. There we go. Go ahead, fold the insect mode, or I know scorpions aren't insects, but whatever. Fold those legs back up like that. Bring these legs down like that into position. And there you go. There you have your Scorponok in robot mode. And it's a pretty decent robot mode, frankly. Like, the only real kibble is the tail, which, as I mentioned, it does work a little better in this mode, because now you can just kind of hold on to him and, just use your thumb to do that. Goes quite a bit out in front of him, so again, it's actually quite a useful thing in this mode. Arm articulation is exactly the same as it was in Scorpion mode, but now he has actual legs. They kick forward, they kick back, they go that far. There's a little bit of a rotation there from the ball joints. They can't quite bend 90 degrees, and then you can bend the heels and the toes down. Head is on sort of a ball joint. You get a little bit of wiggle up and down and stuff. Get rotation. And this guy being a Beast Wars figure, this isn't actually his head. This is his mutant mask. Yeah, his head actually splits in half here and reveals the actual face of Scorponok, which is, let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more. It's kind of a mess. Due to the pearlescent, plastic and the white paint, it's hard to tell, but he is actually, permanently, rage screaming. It's kind of goofy, but it works. I do personally prefer the closed up head. I do also just appreciate how smoothly that works. You can see there's just two little pegs back there that are handling that. So, oh, wrong way. New shooting mode. Who this? But, yeah, overall, it's a very simple figure. Again, this is a figure that's, over 20 years old at this point now. But it's really cool to see this on shelves again, because Scorponok was probably one of the better Beast Wars figures from back in the day. And, at least last I knew, yeah, you can just go pick him up at Walmart still. He's a little bit more expensive than you would expect. He does come off as roughly Voyager size. He definitely costs more than a Voyager does nowadays, but with all the gimmicks and stuff he's got, I personally think he's very much worth it, and he's still cheaper than trying to track down an original, so there's that. But yeah, I like this guy. He's cool. I wanted to do a video on him. So now I've technically done 2. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, putting up with my weird, transition-y stuff, trying to figure these videos out again. And I will see you next time.